morning. It's the Victor Wiltz Show. So glad that it is Thursday, one step closer to the weekend. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. We're at that time of year where things get a little bit iffy. Looking a little bit cold, and tonight maybe a little bit of rain going on. As long as it ain't snow. That's all I gotta say. And we should maintain some decent highs. It's not like we're getting down to 30 for the high. I mean, rolling into next week, they're still expecting us to be sitting in highs in the 60s, which sounds great. So I got nothing to complain about yet, except my cats. I believe it was Koopa's fault. So last night, had a long day at work yesterday. Got off a little bit late, get home. It's like, oh, where did my whole day go? I'm already a little annoyed just because my whole day was gone. But I decided to relax, chill out, bro. Play a little Red Dead. Yeah, I'm back into that again. It's just so fun. I don't know why I can't get enough of that game. Yeah, I took quite a break from it, but now I'm back in, and I'm like all in. I got all these other video games I could play, but it's just, it's zen for me to play Red Dead. So I'm playing that for a while and decided, all right, I better take the air conditioners out. It's been getting kind of cold. So I disconnect one of them, and I start moving it in the basement. And I walk into my basement, and I know this is kind of a gross way to start the day. All right? I'm sorry. This was my pre-bedtime situation. Walk downstairs, and it smells bad. It smells like a cat crap. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. That's a pretty nasty bomb that one of those kitties dropped. So I cleaned the litter box. I stopped dealing with the air conditioner, and I'm like, this doesn't seem like... Because I clean it like every day. I'm like, why does it smell so bad down here? This isn't, representative of what could be creating such a stench. Well, one of the cats, I don't know if he was mad that he was cooped up in the house all day yesterday, or if it's some kind of issue with the kitten using the other litter boxes. I got a bunch of litter boxes, because you're supposed to have multiple if you've got multiple cats. Well, one of the cats just right on the basement living room floor carpet. I know it's again early to talk about cat turds, but listen. When I'm about ready to get ready for bed, this is not what I want to find. And I won't get into a more descriptive explanation for the mess I found, but there were multiple messes. Bad enough to the point that I had to get out, the carpet shampooer. It was an ordeal, and it was so aggravating. I was so mad. And now I'm nervous because the cat's in the house again today. What if he does it again? What's his problem? Ugh. So ruined my evening of relaxing and playing Red Dead. And then I was annoyed even further and couldn't get to sleep. So here we are. It's early. I'm tired, but it's Thursday. I just, got the fingers crossed that I could work on other chores around my house than cleaning up that kind of mess. Bad kitties. Bad kitties. Hope you didn't have to deal with anything like that. That's when you're wishing you had, tile or wood floor everywhere. That's when carpet's a problem. Oh. Anyway, there you go. I hope that's the only break about animal waste that I do today. Hope you're not having breakfast. Starting off like one of those days, one of those no news days. I'm not going to delve into politics here, but that is all that's popping up in the news for me today. Jeez. So I guess I've got to read something other than the usual sites that I go to try to find stuff to share with you. I was just reading that you should not skip your lunch break. I was basically reading that the way I do lunch most of the time is the wrong way to do it and can be harmful. Basically, you need to take a dedicated lunch break each day and go away from work. No sitting at your desk eating while you continue to work or just skipping lunch and powering through. It's not an actual break. That would be multitasking. And I do this all the time. Okay, I'm going to run and grab some food. And I come back to my desk and I just eat while tinkering away at clocks and whatever other pile of stuff Jade has dumped on my desk that needs to be completed. But it should be a break, an opportunity to just kind of kick back, recharge, and I don't know, maybe call somebody or something. Don't just scroll social media. I guess that's bad too. It's a bad way to spend your lunch break. Bad for both your physical and mental health. Yeah, maybe go for a walk. Do it while you can. Today, aside from maybe that rain, looking like a decent day to take a little bit of a walk. So, yeah, ain't going to be doing that outside very soon. So, get her done. And it just reminded me of, speaking of walking around, they unleashed the leaf collection schedule in Idaho Falls. Now, this can be very convenient if the weather cooperates. What you're allowed to do is take all of your leaves and put them in the gutter in front of your house, which, I don't know, maybe I'll see if Peaches wants to come help me rake my yard. What I do is I get a big tarp and you rake the leaves onto the tarp and then just drag it out to the gutter. But you definitely need somebody to help you. And last year, I didn't do this because there was no one at my house to help me. So, if the weather cooperates and it doesn't snow, you can not have to worry about bagging things up and this and that. However, they don't start doing that till the first week of November, if I recall correct. Get on the City of Idaho Falls website to check that out. I'm not sure if they do the same thing in Pocatello and Rexburg, all of the other surrounding cities, Blackfoot and such. But if you are allowed to just take your leaves out to the curb, and just leave them in a pile, it's very nice. However, man, am I going to have a pile? Well, hopefully I could find somebody to help me. Help me get her done before the weather turns to crap. It's looking good for the next couple weeks, but you're not supposed to put them out on the curb in the gutter till 1 week before pickup. So I gotta wait a couple weeks. We'll see. Anyway, just giving you the heads up on that. Don't skip lunch. Maybe get out and rake some leaves. It's good for the mind. I've talked a lot about books in the last couple days for whatever reason, and apparently my phone is listening. I just had a post pop up recommending that I check out a website called Thrift Books. Read more, spend less. All right, as an expert in the realm of book pricing, at least of certain authors, let's determine together whether or not this website is, in fact, a good deal. All right, here. We'll search for Stephen King. I shop enough as far as authors go for Stephen King that I think I should be able to judge here. Yeah, I think I've still got to go just with a little bit of scrolling here, I think I've got to go with sticking with eBay. Yeah. I mean, if you want to just get something nice and easy, not have to deal with auctions and this and that, the prices ain't bad on this website, but, some of them are definitely a little bit outrageous. So, have I ever told you how to win on eBay? Here's my formula for winning auctions on eBay. And it doesn't always work, but it's the best way to go about doing so. All right, you set up your eBay account. Got to have that in order to bid. When you find an item that you want to bid on, don't bid on it. Put it in your watch list and do not bid on that item until the very last minute, till there are 10 seconds left in the auction. Because if you start voting days and days before the auction ends, you're just helping drive up the price. You might have one other person bidding on something, and they might sit there and think, oh, I've got this item in the bag. Nobody else is bidding on it. But if you wait till the very last minute, 10 seconds left, punch in the highest amount you're willing to pay for that item. Don't overdo it. Set it as the highest amount you're willing to pay. So you're not going to feel bad if you end up paying the maximum price. All right? And then when there's like 5 seconds left, send your bid through. So the other person doesn't have time to send a competing bid. And a lot of the time, you'll just snag an item right at the last minute. I'm sure it's aggravating to the person on the other end, but that's how you get the items for the cheapest possible price. And I've gotten some really good deals that way. So if you've never given it a whirl, I know that it's tough, and sometimes you're like, I've got a bid, but put an alarm in your phone. And literally, with seconds left, because if you do it with a minute left, the other person has plenty of time to get in a new bid. You got to do it with 5 seconds left. All right? I shouldn't even talk about this, because once I start spending a lot of time on eBay, it's kind of addictive. There's a satisfaction to winning auctions at the last minute like that. I got to stay off eBay. That's for sure. I ain't got no dough for that kind of thing. Everything getting to be more expensive. I think I need a part-time job. Much as that would be a bummer. I already don't have enough free time, but what do you do? What do you do? Anyway, there you go. Christmas is approaching. Win yourself some cheap items. Make Christmas wonderful for everybody. You're welcome. A note to content creators. If you want to put out something on social media that will get a lot of action, right now, Linkin Park fans are in 2 separate camps. You have people who love what's going on and people who absolutely hate it. And, it extends as far as friends and family of the band fighting online. So I put out a little video reacting to a new Linkin Park song a couple weeks ago, and that video is getting so much action, it's crazy. But it's all just people screaming at each other. So take a page out of the playbook of all of the national news organizations and just delve into controversial topics. Anything that'll get people fighting. That's what social media likes, and that's what they will push to everyone's feed. So there's my content creation tip of the day. You're welcome. Creepy Halloween tunes. At least twice every hour up through Halloween Day, then Halloween Day, nothing but those kind of tracks. We've got the ultimate soundtrack lined up. I'm very excited for it. We always have a lot of fun on Halloween Day. And if you've got friends or family looking for something to listen to all day long, forget those Spotify playlists, okay? I've been programming this Halloween music for years and years, and it gets better here each year. But one of the things I've done over the years is taken a look at online playlists to try to find other tracks to add. And there are so many songs that just to me do not work perfectly for a Halloween playlist. Just because a song has a name that might sound kind of ghoulish doesn't mean it's going to be the vibe you need for a Halloween celebration. Take, for example, Skillet Monster. Now, it's called Monster, but it doesn't have any kind of creepy vibe to it at all. It doesn't have certain dark tones and things like that. It's a very upbeat, fun track. And Halloween tracks can definitely be upbeat and fun, but they've got to have that certain feel to them. So I'm constantly, year after year, working to, fine-tune our Halloween playlist. And this year, it is going to be better than ever before. Got some new stuff going in. And I just hope you'll spread the word that you're not going to find any better Halloween playlist anywhere than what we've lined up for Halloween Day. I challenge you, you find me one. You find me one that's better. I'd actually be happy if you did, because then I can go in and steal some of those songs and add them to our playlist. But yeah, I promise it's going to be excellent. So make sure everyone knows everywhere to be listening to us Halloween Day. Thanks to our friends at No Limit Guitar Company, making Halloween awesome yet again this year. Sorry, I was looking at guitars again. What am I doing? Why am I looking at those again? I just got a new guitar last weekend. You can never have enough guitars. Speaking of guitars, listen to this. A wonderful gift for Christmas for that special someone? Sure, Christmas is going to be here before you know it. I recommend getting your shopping done early so you don't have to worry about it later on. Nobody likes going outside when the weather sucks. So, yeah, if you enjoy shopping in stores, avoid the Black Friday mess, just get out and do it now. Or order some of this online. Eau de Spud. This is Polish potatoes perfume. It's a unique luxury fragrance that captures the earthy aroma of Polish potatoes. Now, potatoes that have been cooked and seasoned can smell pretty good, but if you just pick up a potato and give it a whiff, I don't think that's what I'd want my lady to smell like. Oh, you smell like you just got freshly pulled out of the dirt. All right, get over here. I would assume it doesn't actually smell like potatoes. Like any of these other novelty perfumes and colognes that get released. But hey, you know, if you're looking for an Idaho gift, I mean, it's Polish potatoes. And it does cost $170 a bottle. But I don't know, it might make for a fun novelty gift for those of you who have too much money. All right, let's see here. What color vehicle is the most likely to get pulled over and most likely to get a speeding ticket in Idaho? You always hear the rumors, you know, oh, you drive a red car, you're going to get pulled over more. No, this all breaks down to statistics, all right? If you drive around town in Idaho Falls, Pocatello, Rexburg, you're going to see one particular color of vehicle more than any other. And that would be, drum roll, it's not red. Obviously, white vehicles. I would guess like 50% of the vehicles on the roads are white around here. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, that would be the vehicle that gets the most speeding tickets because that's the most common color. The end. The end. I can't believe there's a whole article about this. And it's because they want to get you to scroll through all their ads. Like, this should have been a one-sentence article, but, you know, people on the internet can manage to really draw out anything. I mean, look up any recipe online. It's like, just tell me the recipe. I don't care about your life's history. Come on now. Scroll, 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 scroll. All right, what else do we got here? You've seen the movie Team America World Police, right? If not, it's a Trey Parker and Matt Stone classic. It's very fun. Probably couldn't be made today. Well, in that movie, there are a number of celebrities that are portrayed by puppets, one of which is Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Poor Matt Damon. He says that because of that movie, even to this day, people will see him at the airport or something and be like, Matt Damon! Oh, brutal. Well, anyway, the puppet, the Matt Damon puppet, was put up for auction recently. Some people got too much money, I tell you. If you have $37,000 to drop on a puppet, hit me up. I'll let you know what my Venmo is. I can always use more money. You know, I know I've said recently I bought a new guitar, but I failed to mention I traded in 2 other instruments so I could be able to do that. I didn't just go, all right, here's cash. No, Victor Wilt on a budget. Ain't buying the Matt Damon puppet for $37,000. Though it would be a pretty cool decoration. You know, I really do enjoy that movie. And if you see Matt Damon, you know, out in public, maybe you're on vacation in California or something, don't yell, Matt Damon, at him. It's just not nice, okay? He said it really hurts his feelings. All right. Oh, and then finally, a study points to a correlation between helmet use on motorcycles and odds of survival. Yet another study that didn't need to be done. Oh, really? If you wear a helmet and you wreck on a motorcycle, you might have a better chance of living? Yeah, no kidding. If you're curious, want to do your own science experiment, get a watermelon, get 2 of them, and just like chuck them at the street. One of the watermelons just unprotected. The other one, put a motorcycle helmet on it and chuck it helmet side down at the concrete. There you go. Study over. Please wear a helmet if you ride a motorcycle. Okay. A lot of people around here don't pay good enough attention out on the roads. It's very dangerous to ride a motorcycle. Please wear a helmet, especially with the weather conditions changing. I know we're exiting motorcycle season, but still, just be cautious and wear a helmet because it might blow your mind, but if you wreck, yeah, you might live. If you wear a helmet, you have a better chance. I know. It seems unbelievable to me too, but that's what this study says. I guess they test wastewater in cities for all kinds of different things and every once in a while discover some interesting stats. Well, there is a city named Prince Albert up in Canada, and it was found to have the most meth in its wastewater per capita than any other city in Canada. There you go. The meth capital of Canada, Prince Albert, in case you wondered. Holy cow. I mean, how much meth use has to be going on for it to be detectable in wastewater? Crazy. Speaking of meth, Florida man accused of trying to steal a generator that powered a traffic light. This was after the recent hurricane. Yeah, you know, there's power issues down there. So in order to keep people from smashing into one another, they set up a generator to run an intersection. And, well, Florida man, he just had to have it. You got to buy a generator in advance, okay? How bad would you feel if the next day in the news you read, generator suddenly disappears from intersection, causing massive 20-car pileup, 13 dead? Yeah, your theft could result in getting people killed. Don't do drugs, okay? Drugs are bad, okay? What do you want, Peaches?
To say hello?
Oh, hi. What's up, dude? What's up?
I'm making imaging in the other room, so.
Oh, I'm digging for content. I can't wait for the next 3 weeks to be over so we can get just past the election. It's getting exhausting because it's everything in the news, just politics. Even Florida man, you know, maybe because of the hurricane or something, but I only had one decent Florida man story. Guy trying to steal a generator, you know, that was running an intersection, likely on meth. That's my guess. Florida man. Well, they can't do anything when everything's shut down. Can't get out and get crazy.
What state is the most, or what state has the most meth users?
Well, earlier we talked
Florida?
about at least the biggest meth city in Canada. I don't know which state has the most meth users. Let's find out. Drum roll, please. I would imagine it's probably somewhere with some big cities. What state has highest meth use?
Could we base that off? Because it's like, if they have a big population, they have a lot of meth users, but what about like a place that has more meth users but a less population?
So like the highest per capita?
Yeah.
Well, Peaches, according to data gathered by World Population Review, your home state of California, highest number of meth users in the country.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, but that's not a per capita thing. That's
just the most amount. Because
and how do they figure that out? Because they're like,
they use meth? Yeah, okay. Next person.
Yeah, you calling people? Who's going to admit that? You know, most people won't take a phone survey as it is.
No, I've had a couple try calling me as of late, and I just hang the phone right up.
And it's an actual survey?
It's something around there, like the research center, something like that.
See, I always take a survey call if I get them because I used to do that for a job, and I know how much it sucks. sitting there in your cubicle trying to call people and get them to take a survey. So anybody who's trapped in that kind of job, I'll always, because you might get bonuses at work if you get a completed survey.
Oh,
so
okay.
I always take the survey. And it's fun because if it's a political survey around here, I can skew the results a little bit. Let
nice.
people know that despite what people on Facebook say, there are a variety of political viewpoints in Idaho.
Oh, stop.
It's true, Peaches.
I saw a Facebook comment that proved Idaho has conservative values. I saw Dusty commented that on
I know.
Light FM's Facebook post because I showed you that article yesterday about celebrities coming into Idaho.
Yes.
And this one guy was all like, tell them to leave. They're ruining our state.
Yeah, and like I point out time and time again, every single hardcore liberal person I know was born and raised here. I've yet to meet anybody who moved here.
I dare somebody to walk up to Henry Winkler and say, leave. That guy's the nicest, most adorable old man on the face of the
That's
earth.
the thing. Most people don't act that way in person. We've talked about that. I guarantee that if the president of the United States that people, trash on relentlessly online, if he walked into a local business here, everyone would be getting selfies with him.
We see that with us. Well, with the K-Bear comments on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then when we go to out publicly, I love K-Bear, it's the best. It's just,
I had a guy apologize to me at the Judas Priest show. Came up to me and, or maybe it wasn't at Priest. It was at the Ice Nine Kills show because we were in the pit.
Oh, yeah.
And a guy came up to me and he said he had said something rude to me online years ago or something. I didn't remember this, but he was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Because he just came up and was talking to me, and I'm nice to everybody.
You should have faked cried. You should have faked.
You really hurt my feeling. You wouldn't believe what you did to me back
I had to go
then.
through years of therapy.
I mean, people have trashed me online before. It happens. But everybody's nice to my face. Trying to remember the last time somebody was just rude to my face, and can't really think of it. But people don't behave that way in person. Like I said, I guarantee.
It's a huge difference.
Joe Biden walks into any business around here, every person would be getting a selfie with him.
We've seen those videos pop up of famous athletes getting booed. Jimmy Kimmel had that experiment where people would walk up to the cutout of that athlete and start booing them, saying terrible things, and then the actual athlete will come out and and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm a huge fan. Thank you. Let's take a picture."
Totally. Trashing on bands and things like that. That band sucks. They're terrible. Anybody who's going to say that right to their face, no, they're going to be like, dude, I need a selfie for my social media.
Line me up an interview with Sublime. I'll tell them they suck.
Yeah, sure you will, Peaches. I know you. I know you wouldn't. Here, let's see what this person wants. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Please keep that in mind. Who's this?
JD, good morning. Love your show.
Hey, JD. That's one of the last people I took a selfie with at the Judas Priest show. Me, JD,
You
Peaches, and a
Marvin
cop.
Peaches.
Yeah,
And a con.
what a great band.
That's what you call a motley crew right there.
And he set somebody at the border when I was coming back from Nevada that weekend,
So you were able to get by.
Yeah, I was able to get by after going to the dispensary. Not really.
Sober JD, just road tripping
It's
it.
just oregano.
I hear you guys talking about dumb stuff like politics.
Not really. I was just saying that people are fake online. That was essentially the message. I used politics as an example, but I could have used bands, like I threw in later on that, if somebody's trashing a band online, if they met people from that band in person, they'd be super nice and they would get a selfie. And
Yeah, most band members are, pretty humble, and most people that, when they're starstruck with somebody, they're going to try to get next to them regardless of what they think otherwise.
well, and just people are nicer in person than they are online by tenfold. It's a completely different world. People will say all kinds of things online that they would never say to somebody's face.
Victor has this anti-JD page on Facebook. It's pretty wild.
Hey, don't tell JD about that. It's a secret.
Well, I started that. Anyway.
I'm just the admin, Peaches.
Yeah,
The
right.
moderator.
You delete any comments and talk praise about JD.
Yes, I'm sure it's all negative.
I only have one real comment here, though, and that's Victor Will for City Council.
There you
Victor
go.
Will for City Council. I think it has to happen one of these years. I don't know when they do City Council elections, but I think
don't
it'd be
know.
pretty fun.
We need somebody a little darker in there.
Darker? Now that's the opposite. I'd be much cheerier than some of these folks.
You don't have to not be cheery to be just a dark person.
Okay. I do got a little bit of darkness, and I play them crush the
Darkness
evil riffs.
imprisoning me.
Oh, I see.
I know there's a little twist behind the smile.
Just a little bit. I guess I am a big horror fan and metal guy.
You should have auditioned for Smile too. Just one of those creepy dudes who's smiling.
Yeah, I could. People have told me I have a scary smile, especially when I got my braces off. Like, people were like, dude, you're really scary looking now that your teeth are straight.
I remember the braces.
Yeah.
Those are people being mean to your face. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, but it was mainly my children.
Oh, yeah.
They don't really count.
Don't count.
They will be mean to my face.
And continually the rest of your life, regardless of what you've done for them.
Yeah, pretty much the only people who are rude to my face are my friends and family. So,
right. All right, that's all I had. Just Victor Will for City Council as usual.
Well, thanks, JD. Good luck out there in the rain today. I hope the workday's going okay.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to continue to chase the holy water. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, good luck with blowing out sprinkler systems. I hope you get everybody handled before the big frost that's coming.
Oh, the big frost. Yeah, it's before it'll hurt sprinklers. It's still a week away.
All right. Cool.
All right, man.
Well, good to hear from you, JD.
Talk to you soon, guys.
Peace,
Bye.
man. All right, be nice to people, whether online or in person. It'll make you feel better, too. Like, I've typed up negative comments and hit enter, and then, 10 minutes later, I'm like, man, why did I do that?
One of us has to disagree. I'll be the negative one here.
Peach is going to
you suck.
Unleash some online hate. He'll keep an eye on our socials. If you didn't hear, at least in Bonneville County, early voting is now up and running and happening. So if you like to just get your voting done, you can get over to the Bonneville County Elections Office and get yourself registered, and I believe just vote while you're there. 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, up through November 1st, according to what I read online. Register to vote, people. All right, got to remind you. I know I, from time to time, see a lot of naysayers online. My vote doesn't matter. Your vote does matter, okay? Don't let some random post you saw online convince you that your vote doesn't matter, and therefore you're not going to get out and vote. No, your vote, every vote matters. And we've got a lot of different local initiatives and local offices that you'll be voting on in addition to the presidential election. So it's very important that you get out and make your voice heard. So get registered to vote. In Idaho, I do believe you can register even day of. If you go to the polls on November 5th, just bring your ID as well as a proof of residency, like a utility bill, something like that, and you can get yourself registered and vote. I would love nothing more than to see record voter turnout year after year, election after election. It's always really sad to look at the percentage that turns out for elections, especially our local elections. So, this one's the big one. It's the presidential election. But every election, you should definitely do your part and get out and vote. I bet you've got a boss who'd let you run down to the polls on voting day, be like, hey, listen, I want to be able to vote. The polls are open pretty late, too. I want to say 7 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. But they're open early and they're open late. Get registered to vote. Get out and vote. And you can do so now with early voting. Seeing a lot of numbers pop up from other states. Seems like a lot of states are seeing record numbers of early voting, so that's cool. Hopefully that means lots and lots of turnout, because the more people that participate, the better representation we're getting of the thoughts of the people as a whole. So do your part, all right? I'm going to pound this till the election. Register and vote. It is important and it does matter. Aight? Well, you gotta love technical issues on a Thursday. I am not sure how the rest of the show is going to go. in addition to the weird skipping thing that was happening a minute ago, my board is not cooperating with me now. So Jade's going to be very excited when I call him here in a few minutes and give him the update on everything falling apart, since we did some things yesterday to try to prevent any issues with the system. I guess that didn't work. Oh, speaking of preventing future problems, it is nice to see people fighting online about something right now not relating to the upcoming election. Yeah, there's this study that had been proposing a expressway in Idaho Falls. The city, or I don't know, the Bonneville Metropolitan Planning Organization made this public, and they had a meeting about it Tuesday night. And I get the frustration of people who live in these areas that might be impacted by this. But what are we supposed to do? I mean, if you have driven on Sunnyside, Woodruff, 17th Street, Ammon Road at like 4 to 5 p.m. on a weekday, you know what a nightmare it is. I mean, how many times during traffic school have I asked Lieutenant Crane about eminent domain and just knocking people's houses down? I know that's rude of me to say, but I don't even go anywhere at that time of day anymore. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. The thing that I don't understand is, you know, they're saying in this article at East Idaho News about the proposed changes to the roadways that they're going to do this in 20 to 30 years. But they're saying our population could double in 25 years. Is that a typo, that 20 to 30 years thing? Because I hate to break it to everybody, but we need to figure out what to do about the roads a little bit sooner than 20 to 30 years from now. Yeah, construction of the expressway is projected to take place in about 20 to 30 years. But they're saying if we don't do anything about this now, we're going to have major problems in 25 years. Can you imagine if the population doubled right now? This goes for Pocatello, too. I haven't driven around inside of Rexburg very much in the last few years. I tend to be on the outskirts of town if I make my way into Rexburg. I know in Pocatello and Idaho Falls, if the population doubles and we don't figure something out to do, we're going to have a really bad time because it already sucks. I used to laugh when people would talk about traffic here, and yeah, sure, it's still worse in bigger cities, but that's just because we're a smaller footprint right here. You know, one side of town to the other is not like one side of LA to the other, you know? I don't know. I hope that the community can come together and figure out a good solution, and that it doesn't take 20 to 30 years. Because nobody wants to go anywhere in the afternoon right now, unless you know all the back roads, but even that sucks. I've tried taking all kinds of routes. I always seem to have no luck if I'm out and about that time of day. It's just too frustrating. So, I don't know what the answer is, and I would understand totally. If you're living in an area that's going to be impacted by any kind of construction, it's got to be aggravating. But, I mean, the community as a whole, we got to figure something out. Can you imagine living on 17th? Trying to back out of your driveway? There are houses on 17th. And I just can't imagine how frustrating it is for folks like that. I guess you are living on a busy road, but still, things are very different now than they were 5 years ago. It sucks out there. So try to, work together, everybody. And let's figure something out here. But I don't know. People are very averse to change. And I don't know. I don't have the answers. That's why I'm not a community planner. I'm just an idiot on the radio. But I know I speak for many when I say we got to figure something out. Because, if they don't do any kind of changes in the next, 5 years, I think I might have to move. Thank you again for tuning in to The Victor Welch Show. This program's a production of River This program's a production of River. Why can't I say that? God.
To say Riverbend Media Group.
Riverbend Media Group. This program's a production of God. This program's a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.